What if a haunted house story wasn't told by the people inside, but by the dog who sensed everything first? This is Good Boy, a horror movie that flips the genre on its head. It's haunting, emotional, and told through the eyes of a loyal dog named Indy. In today's review, we'll break down this hidden gem. Its story, the filmmaking magic, the emotion behind every growl, and why it might just be the most human horror movie ever made, starring a dog. Grab your popcorn, hold your pet close, because this story will make you look at your furry friend differently tonight. The story follows Todd, a man struggling with illness, and his dog Indy. Hoping to start fresh, Todd moves back to his grandfather's old, abandoned house in the countryside. It's quiet, isolated. But to Indy, something already feels wrong. The house creaks like it's breathing. Shadows move where they shouldn't. And when Todd starts acting strange, Indy's instincts scream danger. What's brilliant? The camera rarely shows Todd's full face. Instead, everything stays low to the ground. From the dog's point of view, we see what he sees. We feel what he feels. The confusion, the fear, the loyalty. Director Ben Leonberg does something truly unique. He turns the dog's eyes into the movie's lens. Faces are blurred. Rooms are too tall. Sounds are more important than visuals. Every footstep, every breath. It's claustrophobic, but intimate. You start noticing small things. A tail twitch, an ear perk, a soft whimper. The cinematography never lets you forget. We are seeing horror through loyalty. No jump scares, no cheap tricks, just raw animal fear. And somehow, it works. Beneath all the horror, Good Boy is a story about loyalty. Indy can't speak. He can't explain what he sees. But every movement, every growl, every tilt of his head tells you. He knows something is terribly wrong. As Todd gets sicker, the dog's anxiety grows. Is his master possessed, cursed, or is the house itself alive? The tension isn't just fear, it's heartbreak. Because we know, Indy will never abandon him. That's the real horror, the kind that hurts your heart, not just your nerves. On the surface, Good Boy is about a haunting, but at its core, it's about grief, memory, and devotion. The house represents Todd's past, dark, unhealed, and inherited. Indy, on the other hand, is purity, love without understanding. When the supernatural starts consuming Todd, Indy's fight becomes symbolic. The battle between innocence and corruption, loyalty and fear, light and the unknown. The film asks a chilling question. If your pet could see evil before you do, would you believe them? What truly sells this movie is Indy himself, the real dog. He's not CGI, not trained to do movie stunts. Every reaction feels raw and real. Critics have called it the best canine performance since The Thing. Ben Leonberg, who also owns Indy, directed the film with deep respect. He said, "Indy was never scared. You're the one who's scared watching him." And it's true. The camera captures emotion through body language alone. That's powerful filmmaking. Now, it's not flawless. The story can feel repetitive. Because we're stuck in Indy's limited perspective, some scenes drag, like watching the same hallway again and again. The narrative is thin. Not much actually happens. And if you're expecting a typical horror climax, you might be disappointed. But remember, this film isn't about plot. It's about feeling, about seeing horror through emotion, not logic. So, is Good Boy worth watching? Absolutely. If you love horror that experiments, that breaks the rules. It's short, only about 73 minutes, but it leaves a mark. You'll finish the film feeling uneasy, yet strangely moved. And yes, don't worry, the dog doesn't die. Good Boy reminds us that horror doesn't always need monsters or killers. Sometimes it just needs love and the fear of losing it. Good Boy, 3.5 out of 5. Not the scariest horror of the year, but one of the most beautiful. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe for more cinematic horror stories, and tell me in the comments, would you trust your dog if it started barking at the dark?